Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is another mod showcase. I wanted to show off another one of my creations here. This, in this little desert southwest themed enclosure, is something I am extremely proud of. It's taken so long to get it to work. We have Mexican gray wolves. Look at these guys. So these are the same model as the replacer that I have up on the Nexus now. I also have, that one's still there if you just want to replace your Arctic Wolf female, you'd be able to use them in franchise. If you want the full standalone species, that is a separate mod. It is now available to download. Go get it, try it, love it, endorse it if you like it. Let me know if you notice any bugs, any graphical issues, any grammatical issues in the Zoopedia, anything like that. And yeah, let's unpause this and let these guys run around a little bit. There they go. We even have puppies! So we actually have puppies in this one. I made sure to actually breed puppies. So they're just kind of the Arctic Wolf puppy with bigger ears and a new texture. And these guys were built from the Arctic Wolf, which means they don't have the dingo howling bug. They actually do howl. So I don't know why the red wolf and New Guinea singing dog that I made off the dingo don't howl. But that's alright. So they are cruising around here in this little habitat that is kind of indicative of where you would find them in the American Southwest. Grab one here. Oh, there's one. And we'll pull up our Zoopedia. So they do have a full custom Zoopedia. It's all done up here. I actually need to change this because their status is actually endangered rather than critically endangered. So they're not listed under the ICUN, but they are listed on the American Endangered Species Act as endangered. So that is a error that I do need to correct. But full Zoopedia entry. Species name is the Mexican gray wolf. In the Zoopedia, they are referred to as the Mexican wolf. It's another name for them. It's one less word I had to type, so that's the reason for that. Scientific name, Canis lupus bailey. And moving on, we have custom Zoopedia Map. These are getting a little bit easier to do. Actually, I'm noticing a little bit. I need to clean up around the edges here. The biomes that they prefer, we've given them taiga, temperate, and desert. And that may seem a little bit odd, but I will explain that here. Frontier has some kind of interesting biome choices. Well, they're just kind of weird. So, in the real world, the taiga is the far northern, and I'll just pull up the Zoopedia map here to show this off. Far northern boreal forest. Basically, it's the last forest before it turns to tundra up in the northern reaches of Russia and Europe and Canada and Alaska. Frontier, however, seems to define taiga as mountainous forest, basically mountain forest. So, for an example, according to Frontier's little globe biome map, I live in the taiga. I live in Northern California. I most certainly do not live in the taiga. We're actually more of a Mediterranean climate. We're moving toward temperate. So, taiga, we define that as like our mountainous forest. That's where we get our, and we'll just filter this by the taiga biome here. In the plants, that's where we get stuff like our pine trees, our black spruce, our Daharian larch, our giant red cedars, our Himalayan pines, ponderosa pine. This is the one. This tree is the reason that the Mexican wolves like the taiga, so that I could put ponderosa pines in their habitat and have them not be upset about them. Also gets us our manzanita and our white sage, which also features pretty prominently in this particular little habitat. Temperate, I take to refer more as the deciduous forests. So we filter our temperate, and we'll just filter this by North America to cut down on the stuff. get things like our white birch, which actually deeply confuses me because birch tend to be fairly far to the north. I would have expected those to be in the taiga. But other stuff like our sugar maples, our sycamores, our beeches, and the like. So I take that to be more in the desert southwest area would be the river bottom. So that's the places you would find the oaks, the cottonwoods, the other more deciduous trees down along the water's edge, which we have here with the aspen. For some reason, Frontier doesn't seem to think that oak trees are native to North America, which I really would like them to change. And then we have the desert biome, which is kind of self-explanatory. That gets us our creosote bushes, which are these wonderful things here, the sagebrush, and then cactuses, and the salt cedars, ironwoods, whatnot. So those are the biome choices, the reasons behind the biome choices for the Mexican gray wolves. So yeah, a little bit about our lobos here. So these are the smallest and the rarest of the North American gray wolf subspecies, of which there are 5. They are a little bit darker and a little bit more red than some of the other more northerly wolves. They don't have a melanistic phase. The black gene never made it into the Mexican wolf population. So they're a little bit smaller than the ones further north. They stand 28 to 32 inches tall, about 5.5 feet long from nose to tail tip, weighing between 50 and 80 pounds in general. Sometimes the males get a little bit larger than that, but not by much. The females are pretty small. They average somewhere between 50 and 65 pounds. Despite being smaller, though, they do prey on elk. They also prey on mule deer, the goose white-tailed deer, and an assortment of smaller mammals. So, like the red wolf, these were all but wiped out by the predator control programs of the early 1900s, of the early half of the 20th century. Shot, trapped, poisoned out of existence. By the 1970s, the last wolves in Texas had been killed. These existed in a small population in the mountains of northern Mexico. And by small, I mean they identified like 6 of them. In 1973, when the Endangered Species Act was passed, they were listed. The recovery plan was drafted. It was basically determined that they had to be captured and brought into a captive breeding program in order to save the species. So that was done. 5 of the remaining 6 were trapped. There were 4 males and a pregnant female. She had, I want to say 3 pups, which was became the basis of the population. There was another couple animals identified at Mexico's Aragon Zoo as purebred Mexican wolves, and they were also added to our population here. In 1998, the first reintroduction took place in the Blue Range recovery area of the mountains of Arizona and New Mexico. And that's currently still the only place they can really be found in the wild today. They have a total population, actually, as of March of this year, the annual count has been done. There's 186 in North America, and 186 in the United States section of their range, and about another, I want to say about another 40 in Mexico. So our total population's about 220 worldwide. There's about another 380 in captivity. So there's a captive breeding program maintained as an international partnership between the U.S. and Mexico, with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service as our lead agency on that, and partnering with zoos, sanctuaries, centers like the Endangered Wolf Center and the Wolf Conservation Center at Wolf Haven International that all maintain breeding pairs of these animals. In U.S. zoos, if you see gray wolves, there's a good chance that they are Mexican gray wolves. The conservation value of them is a lot higher than, say, like Canis lupus occidentalis, or Western gray wolves, or just your kind of generic, probably kind of mixed subspecies gray wolf that shows up in the pet trade. Zoos get more funding when they're doing breeding for these animals, and particularly ones with a reintroduction plan going on. Currently, the main method that they're using to return these wolves to the wild is called cross-fostering. So they take captive bred pups, place them into wild dens with pups that are of the same age, mix them together. The female will raise the new pups and her pups together. And that helps get some of our captive genes into the wild population. Now, with their very small founding population, inbreeding is becoming a big problem with these guys, both in the wild and in the captive population. But they are at the moment doing better than they have in recent years. Their recovery is starting to go strong. I think they're aiming their first goal they want to hit is about a population of around 300 in the wild, and then go from there. And we're at 186 in at least in the Blue Range recovery area. So these ones, they're a little bit more successful than the red wolves, but they're still kind of facing a lot of challenges. But our zoos and whatnot are perpetuating them, propagating them, keeping this species going. So if you want to add Mexican gray wolves to your zoo, if you've got a North American section, desert Southwest section, anything like that, and you want to add them, feel free, download them on the Nexus. Now, mods, they do only work in franchise. I'm sorry, they do not work in franchise. They only work in sandbox and challenge because the way franchise works is all the animals originally come from Frontier servers. Even the ones that are traded between players, they all originate on Frontier servers. So Frontier would have to add some kind of like direct modding support to add these animals in. Or they might just make some Mexican wolves officially, which would be awesome. I'd be down for that. That would be totally cool. And then you could have them in franchise. But so for now, challenge, sandbox, and maybe career. I don't know. I'm really not sure about that because I don't actually play career mode at all. I should maybe pop into that and see if I can add them. Installation is very, very simple. Download the folder, the mod folder. You're going to extract that. Take the folder inside that's labeled Mexican W, drop that into your OVL data folder, and then you're good to go. The text for the Zoopedia only shows up in English right now. We're trying to get working with some folks on the modding Discord who have offered to translate into different languages, which is awesome. But it's kind of a process. What I didn't want to do was take all this text, plug it into Google Translate, and just paste it in and have it be whatever it is, because Google Translate is kind of notoriously bad. So, I mean, English text is better than no text. If for some reason it doesn't show up in your language, like the species doesn't show up, shoot me a message either on the Nexus or in the modding Discord or something. Let me know and I'll try and fix that, because they should at least show up for you with all the different language packs. At least all the supported languages that Frontier supports for Planet Zoo. So, yeah, these are our Mexican wolves. My third mod. I'm thrilled, getting faster at this. These ones were an utter pain to get done, but they're done. Still not entirely certain why it took so long to do these, but I did them. Got them done. Like I had the models and the textures and everything done for like 2 weeks. Just trying to get the files to cooperate to get these guys in game, but it's done now. It's over. They look amazing. They're available. Coming up, gonna be making more mods, of course. Obviously, super excited for what's coming up with the Southeast Asia Animal DLC. I'm gonna be starting a brand new zoo for that. I think I'm gonna base that on Singapore Zoo, actually. Obviously not going to be nearly as big, not going to be a full recreation or anything crazy like that, but just kind of the style and whatnot. Obviously won't include these guys, but that's coming. And then Prehistoric Kingdom is coming, which I'll be putting out a video on that real shortly, because oh my god. So we have that. And yeah. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. Let me know what you think about my wolves here. I'm going to be doing some more canids too, coming down the line once I get my Mer Leopard done. And yeah, subscribe if you like to see more. I'll be doing various mod showcases. I'm going to do a showcase this weekend of as many of the current mods that have been done by other people as humanly possible. Try to cram them all into one zoo and see if it crashes. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But amazing, amazing, amazing work over in the modding Discord. It's no longer the Frontier modding Discord. It's actually the ZooSim modding Discord now. So check it out. Drop in, join the conversation. If you want to learn how to mod, that's the place to do it. If you just want to see what folks are working on, chat with us, hop in. We're a bunch of friendly, helpful people over there. It's awesome. Great little modding community. Huge shout out actually to Harlequin's Ego, Jesse, for helping me out figure out why the files weren't working for these. He was a big help in actually getting these running, so thanks so much for that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.